Hey, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. How are you all today? You think things are bad? Well, they're about to get worse, and the worst is yet to come. That's what I want to talk about today. And I'm not here to scare you about it. I'm here to talk about what I think is coming, how I feel about it, how I think you ought to feel about it, what I'm doing about it, and what I think you should do about it, because that's what we're here for. First off, welcome to all the new people who have stopped by. I know we've had a lot of new folks join here in the last, oh gosh, it should just keep joining both on YouTube and over on Patreon, and it's great to have you. If you're not with us on Patreon, we'd love to have you if you want extra stuff. But whether you are or not, we're glad that you're with us. Couple of housekeeping things before we get into this. And if you're new to us, we do this because we're kind of a community here. I say that I have the smartest commenters in YouTube land, and I believe it. And after you get done watching this video, or while you are, I suggest that you go down and read some of the comments down below, because you'll learn from them too. And if you'd like to participate and leave a comment of your own, all I ask is that you be polite and don't start arguments, and know what you're talking about if you're saying something. I do caution about making comments before you've watched the whole thing. It'll keep a couple of things from happening. It'll keep you from making a comment that maybe I go ahead and explain later. Or it will keep you from leaving 5 or 6 comments during the course of it. And I really wish that you'd stay away from that. I removed somebody the other day because it just seemed like, they had left 8, 9, 10, just on and on comments, and the comments weren't applicable. So this isn't a sounding board just for people who want to spout off about anything that rambles through their head. I keep the comment section fairly weeded because I like it to be quality so that people who come in can learn from it. So do watch the whole video if you're going to leave a comment. Be nice, be polite, and that pretty much covers that. Another thing, oh, by the way, I've run out of books. I got a lot more orders. If you wonder know what the books are, it's if you're new. My books, the Stonemont series, who is the main sponsor of all of these videos, the Stonemont series, which is the reversion, the revival, the renewal, and appeal to heaven, and the blessings of freedom, collectively known as the Stonemont series. Anything that I've ever been asked, I've already covered in detail in one of these books. If you're truly interested in preparedness, if you're truly interested in survival, if you're truly interested in how to handle things when they all fall apart, because that's what these are. It's about how to prepare for, how to survive, and how to rebuild after a total collapse, then you'll want to read these if you haven't. The way to get them, you can either get them through Amazon or you can get them from me autographed. You can only get them autographed from me, but the way to get them is down here in the information section and the pinned comment. You can get them from Amazon in either paperback or Kindle, and you can get them from me in paperback autographed if you'd like. So I just got a bunch more orders in, and guys, I've ordered a bunch more because I've run out again. I'm sorry. So if you have ordered books, you'll get them as soon as I get them. Okay, as soon as Amazon makes their delivery, and I'll be real honest, they're not fast. So, usually it takes a couple of weeks for them to get me my books, but I've got all of your orders here on my desk, just waiting to get out to you as soon as I get them in. So that's what's going on with that. I received a very nice something in the mail when I was up checking the P.O. box the other day. This is from a friend. Well, I've never met him, but he's an old friend on the channel. I won't name who it is, but for those of you who know, a lot of people in law enforcement have sent me patches from their departments, and I'll be putting up a patch board somewhere in my office as soon as I get time. And those of you who know me know I'm kind of overloaded with things to do. But I've just got a bunch in, and some beautiful patches. And it doesn't matter whether they're beautiful or not. I appreciate the sentiment and the feeling behind the sending of them. And I thank all you brothers and sisters so much out there. This one says, if you can't see it, U.S. Navy Police. There. I won't say who it was, but this I can't thank you enough. He's one of our old-time subscribers. And that's a beautiful patch, and I thank you so much. That's going to take a pride of place when I get that board up there. If any of the rest of you people ask, hey, what kind of patches do you accept? Hey, if you were part of something that when everything falls apart, you're the people who go help, you got a patch, I'd be honored to have your patch. Law enforcement, fire service, EMS, corrections, military, whatever it is, love to have your patch. It's a thing in law enforcement about sending patches and things like that. So that's that. I probably had a couple of other things that I was going to say before we got started, but I don't remember what they were. I'm going to be making one after I finish this for the Patreon channel. One of the Stonemont level people over there asked me what I think is a very important question. It's about taking care of certain people, the ethical or the moral obligation to take care of certain people after a collapse, like what happens in my books. I think it's an excellent question. So that's what we do on Patreon. If you're not over there, we do everything we do here plus a lot more over on Patreon. So that ought to adequately infuriate the couple of people who occasionally come on and say, you just spent the first 5 minutes not, before you got to the point. Or who will put down there in the comments, video starts at 5 minutes and 9 seconds, which earns them an immediate ban, because it's insulting. It says, nothing that you had to say was of any importance to me until you got to, well, I don't make them watch me anymore. Okay, now to the purpose of this thing. You all know how bad things are. You all know how long they've been getting bad. You all know that the getting bad is coming at us from all different directions. Okay, it's coming at us in jobs. It's coming at us economically, not having to do with jobs, even if you've got a job. Inflation is just chewing you up. Okay, interest rates, they're trying to fight. We have idiots running our economy. That's because it's run by people who have never had a real job. They've never created a business. They've never created jobs. They've never created anything worth creating except for laws and regulations. We have a bunch of academics and lawyers running, I was going to say the economy, but the entire country. That's the problem. That's why things are crashing. That's why I have little hope that anything is going to get better. So if it's not going to get better, what do we do? And why do I say that things are getting worse? I mean, everybody, has these great hopes that if the election goes a certain way, excuse me, let me get this frog out of my throat. If the election goes a certain way, well, now we're home free. No, the economy has been so badly damaged that it's going to take, if it can be fixed at all, it's going to take a long time. It's going to be an extended fix. On top of that, we have increased crime, increased lawlessness, decreased law enforcement. We're getting more of these cities with Illinois that's not going to require cash bail. More of the Democrats are running on that. It seems that, why is this? So much of their constituency thinks that doing away with cash bail is so important. That gives you a clue right there, right? We have people wanting to destroy our country. The sad thing that they're in charge of the country. So what can be done? The economy itself, I don't think people have any idea how really bad it is. I've been projecting a crash for the last 3 years. If the Democrats got in, because I saw what was happening. And when people would ask me what to invest in, They wanted to invest in real estate and stocks, and I said, it's sky high. There's a bubble that's going to break, and it is. It is. Those are not the place to be. I said, buy food, guns, and ammo. Those who did came out very well. The reason that I say that is not to pat myself on the back, but for anybody who hasn't been with me for a while to say, I've been paying attention to this for a long time. I've been paying attention to this since the 80s, okay? And we can pretty much see, well, the 70s, because that's when Carter really started, that's when he started destroying this country to the extent that I started paying attention. And it's nothing new. I mean, what's going on now is nothing new. And so it's when you understand and you've been around long enough to see the ebbs and the flows, you know what's coming next, and you know pretty much how to weather that. You know how to catch the next wave, okay? Somebody who's never surfed, he doesn't know which wave to look for. I've been watching these waves for a long time, so I'm looking to see how to survive the bad ones and how to catch the next good ones. What people don't realize is that we are, and maybe you've heard about the stock market, we're in a double bear. We got two bears fighting in the woods. We're in a bear market in stocks, but what a lot of people don't realize, we're in a bear market in bonds as well. Now, usually when interest rates go up, which they're sending them up, trying to slow down the inflationary growth, usually we'll see an increase in the bond market. We're not seeing that. And I don't remember when the last time that we saw a double bear, and don't worry, I'm not going to get into to all the esoteric stuff of economics. I can't remember the last time. If there has been a last time, or maybe there has, it's not something that I'm aware of. When you have the stock market going down and the bond market going down, that announces potential economic catastrophe. Okay, this is more serious. Oh, it's not more serious than what you're seeing at the store, but what I want to make clear is that, yeah, everybody sees, that inflation is bad at the grocery store or at the gas pump or things like this. That tends to give them an immediate problem to look at. And they can think that, well, if we can just get this under control, things are going to be all right. Well, we've seen what the current administration has done with our strategic oil reserves, selling them to China, for crying out loud. Really? Well, shutting down our energy independence. We've seen this. We know that they're trying to destroy us. The food supply, the supply chain problems we've had. Okay, these are things that each of them could be devastating on their own, but put together, the tsunami of economic collapse, which isn't here yet, is probably beyond our ability to fully describe. And even if we tried to, most people wouldn't believe it. So what I'm wanting to say here is that even while the average person sees, food going up. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I have bought at the grocery store, Kelly does a lot of the shopping, of course, but I have things that I pick up. A lot of the stuff I pick up is for preparations, right? And I've seen some of those go up anywhere from 50 to 100%. Now, everybody deals with that. Everybody knows how much it costs to fill up their car right now compared to a couple of years ago when under a different administration. Okay. But just dealing with that, it tends to give people a short-term perspective. And so what I want to explain is when you have both the stock market and the bond market collapsing, this is an indicator of very serious long-term problems for which there is no short-term solution. Okay, I know that's a little bit deep, getting into all this economic stuff, but that's the truth. And the reason that a lot of people get hit hard by this this stuff is because they don't think about that. They don't understand it. It's not that you can't understand it. Most people don't understand it because they won't take the time. They don't have the interest to look into it. I understand that. I didn't used to find it interesting either, but it's important. If you want to see where you're going, you got to take a look at where you are and where you've been, and then be able to kind of set your path. Okay. And there are things that you can do. There's not a lot that can be done for the country, but there are some things you can do. First off, am I worried? No, I'm not. I'm not worried for me. I'm not worried for my family. Okay. Why? Because I've taken steps to assure that we're going to be able to not just weather this, but potentially come out the other side in a better position. Why is that? Because as a collapse comes, we are in a recession. Okay, they're trying to act like we're not. We may be going into a very deep recession. That could go into a depression. Simple as that. And if what happens is as bad as it may look like, it could make the last depression, I won't say look like nothing. I will say that this one could be worse. I'll just say that. Because of the kind of people that we have in charge and the kind of people that we now have in our country. Simple as that. Okay. Our country has some great people in it, but I wouldn't say that the majority of them are hardworking, resilient, self-reliant, strong people. Simple as that. Okay. So that's going to be a problem. Should you worry? No. Have you prepared? If you've prepared, you shouldn't worry. If you haven't prepared, you should start preparing. But worrying does nothing. Neither does grousing and grumbling about things. Okay? Complaining is not action. Complaining is not doing something about it. And that's the problem with so many people, is that they'll complain and they'll gripe and they'll grouse and they'll grumble and all this. And so it's kind of like a pressure cooker. They've let off that steam, so they've depressurized, right? So instead of actually going out and doing something to try to improve their position, they just kind of lay back under their grumbles and continue their victimization. And it's like, I can't believe what's happening, and it can't get any worse than this. Yes, it can. It can get a lot worse. And it will get worse for the person who's not trying to do something about it and being proactive. And that's the problem, is that too many of our people in our country and the world are reactive, not proactive, and the powers that be understand that. And that's why they play us, or try to play most people. They don't play some of us. They play us because they know that most people are going to react emotionally. And they're not going to do the things that it takes to prepare themselves to weather a storm. Okay. Well, hopefully you're different than that. Hopefully you are a true prepper and not just one of these people who, gets their dopamine fix by, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? It's not difficult. Well, let me put it that way, a different way. It's not complicated. It's not complicated how to weather this coming storm. Okay, it might be difficult for some, but the simplicity of basic prepping will prepare you to be able, for the most part, to weather the storm. And it's a storm. I don't think most people have any concept of how bad things might get. They don't. Basic preparedness is going to prepare you for what? Anything. Okay, it should. What do you prepare for? Through the years, as I've watched a lot of YouTubes and I've watched, I've read certain things and I listen to people who are in preparedness. It seems like everybody has their favorite thing to prepare for, their favorite catastrophe that they're getting ready for. That is not what you want. You want a generalized, omnidimensional preparedness plan. You want to be able to provide for all of those needs of you and your family. From food to water to energy to shelter to protection. And the depth of your preparedness is going to be directly related to how serious you take this. Right? I mean, the person who's not serious is just they're like a stone skipping across the pond, right? Just every time they hit the water, it kind of gives them, oh, okay, I better prepare for that. The real prepper goes down deep, or the preparedness-minded person, and gets ready and plans for the future. Planning for the future, an uncertain future, is what preparedness is all about. Now, the basic things now, there will be people who say get out of debt. That's easy to say, difficult for many to do, and a lot more complicated. I don't necessarily say get out of debt, as long as you can service your debt. Now, if you can't make your mortgage payment and you're going to lose your house, that's going to suck. That means that you weren't able to maintain your income stream. That's one of the most important things. Maintain your income. Diversify your income. Okay? Increase your income. Too many people prepare defensively, getting by with as little as possible. And I say that's the wrong way to go about it. You should prepare offensively. You should do as much as you can. Some people look down on people who are trying to make more money and think that just, living on nothing is the way to go. And they'll say, well, when it all goes to pot, all your money isn't going to be worth anything. Well, it's worth quite a bit now. Well, it's not worth what it was 2 years ago. Well, still worth quite a bit. It depends on how much you have. Okay? If the inflation has gone up 8%, let me ask you something. Why haven't you increased your income 20%? How about that for a question, huh? Or are you just willing to kind of ride that wagon down the hill until it goes into the ditch? No. Increase your income. Stop spending. Stop unnecessary spending. If it doesn't contribute to the long-term goal right now, stop it. Now, I'm not saying you got to sit around and eat beans and rice all the time. I don't want to eat beans and rice all the time, and I don't. We still go out. We enjoy ourselves. We do entertainment. We take our trips. We go eat ice cream every Friday. Well, I do not, we do not make ourselves live a subsistence life. We increase while we can income. The day may come you won't be able to increase your income anymore. That's why you do it now. And that's why you get ready when the time comes. Maybe a couple of your streams of income dry up. Okay? If you've diversified, if you've gotten ready for it, if you've saved, if you've stuck stuff back, okay, that's not going to kill you. That's why Kelly and I didn't get killed when we lost our big deal corporate jobs, right? They couldn't believe we were willing to give up those jobs because we refused to take the poke. We didn't need them, and that's the thing. You don't want to need outside people. Basic preparedness. I know there's probably some people out there that wished that I would have given them some secret magical remedy to this. There is no secret magical remedy. It's like we would say in the martial arts, there are no secrets. There are only things you don't know. Okay? Same thing here. Basic preparedness is going to do it, but you have to be serious about it. Serious, basic preparedness will see you through what's coming. And if you'll stay liquid, and by that I mean if you'll stay to the point to where you've got money. I'm already seeing stocks are just collapsing. You know what the day is coming someday? The day will be coming to buy stocks. Not now. Not yet. The day will come to where they will be down in the ditch, and that's when you buy them. And when they go way back up again, which they will, because you know why they will? Because they always do. That's the nature of our economic system. And then you will have made a bundle by buying stocks low. Real estate's going to do the same thing. It's going to take a tumble. It's going down, 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 down. How far it's going to go down? Study it yourself and don't take some realtor's word for it, because they're always going to say, now is the time to buy, right? That's because they want a commission. It doesn't mean that now's the time to buy. It means now's the time they want your money, okay? So pay attention. Don't believe the people on TV that tell you that gold and silver have always been money and will never lose their value. Well, okay, gold's running at about $1,600 now the last time I checked. Tell that to somebody who bought it over $2,000 an ounce. How do you think they feel? Same with silver. Okay, these things, do your own research. Don't get fancy. Get simple. Make money, save money, invest your money right now. Invest it in food, invest it on the things you may need to get yourself through hard times, and then wait. Wait for it. Wait for it. That's my storm door slamming in there. Wait for it to go in the ditch so that you can buy low and actually come out the other side in good shape. But you know what? You won't be able to buy those if you're spending all your money now. Every dime you save right now is going to be worth $1 later on. And that's what people don't realize. Don't let this, what's coming, scare you. Don't let it worry you. See it for what it is, a challenge that is also an opportunity. And if you'll treat it like that, and you're smart, and you're disciplined, you'll come out the other side of this in great shape. Okay? I think I'll leave it there. I hope that you will do this. Too many people won't. Too many people are going to continue to complain about nothing can be done. What's going to be done? This is... Okay, well, you can complain about the way that the country is headed. But when it comes to preparing for you and your family, take a serious look at it and a serious approach, and get ready to weather these times while you're still being happy and having a good time and getting ready for what can slingshot you into the next growth spurt, because it's coming. It's not coming for a few years. Well, the ditch, the bottom of the ditch, may be coming in the next year or so. Also, I want to say this. It doesn't matter who wins this election as far as safety is concerned. There are going to be riots. There's going to be increased violence. There is going to be, no matter what happens with this election, it's going to increase the trouble. I should have talked more about that. Maybe I'll do a separate on that in the next few days. Anyway, I'm going to stop it there. Remember, if you want to know how to prepare for, survive, and do well, rebuild after a total collapse, the Stonemont series, get them on Amazon or from me. The information is down there. Join us on Patreon. You'll be glad you did. And remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And again, buddy, thank you so much. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.